Hey folks, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be a continuation of my gameplay of Dune. I hope you enjoy. We're now on level 2 of the Harkonnen race. I don't think this one will be too much different from the last video, except that the technology tree is expanded a little bit.
Dune, the battle for Arrakis.
Now I'm just getting back into the game here today, and this game doesn't actually have a save game feature, so we're going to have to do things the old-fashioned way by inputting the password that we were given at the end of the level. For this one, the password is demolition.
Acknowledged.
Oh boy, let's warm up the vocal cords.
House Harkonnen will now allow you to take command in a more dangerous area. You will encounter the worthless Atreides in this region. Whether you eliminate them or accumulate 27,000 credits in spice, that is up to you.
Do you have any advice for me?
Once you have an outpost, you'll be able to build a barracks, which produces our elite troopers. I would do so to provide a greater defense for your harvesting operation.
Alright, then let's settle in. Alright, just like last episode, this one might be kind of short and sweet. Right away I noticed that I'm in the top right of the map, so I'm going to move my units to the lower part of my base and out of the way of building. It appears like I got some action right away. Alright, got my power plant down. I'm gonna get some slab down right away so I can start building some refineries and get some of that delicious spice. On my last episode, I had mentioned what the face buttons did. Pressing A on the construction yard opens up the menu. From there I can select the different buildings to construct. If I wanted to construct that same structure again, I don't actually have to go back to the construction yard and press A, I can just press B, and it will recreate that same object. The reason why I am mentioning this again is because I'm actually using a ROM hack of this game that allows me to use the Sega Mega Mouse. And last episode I was mistaking what the buttons were doing, and I guess the user that created the ROM hack switched C and B around. I think this was just a quality of life thing to make it more like right and left clicks, because it's not intuitive to click the middle button. I didn't realize that though, so that's why you didn't see me do it in the last episode. For that second refinery, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull this harvester early, even though it might not be enough, but I'm going to take the gamble. How lucky is that? The harvester was only there for a couple seconds, but this will greatly produce productivity. I need to resituate all these units here. It appears that the enemy base is directly below me, judging by where these enemy units are coming from.
Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Moving. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Looks like this will be a good defensive line. I'm going to go ahead and lay down more foundation here to prepare for more construction. I'll be placing another wind trap, another refinery, and then we can take a look at the outpost. Some of you might have heard the sound effect being used here. I always remember it as the death scream from the game Doom, but it's actually even older than that. It was definitely used in countless video games and TV shows. This is not the Wilhelm scream or the Howie scream. or Goofy, or Tom. It was actually produced by a Canadian company that was founded in 1978 called Sound Ideas. This particular one is called Scream, Male, Terror, Human, Horror. Without it being edited and bit crushed, it sounds like this. Thank God for the dedicated communities out there. Now I just gotta wait a little bit for these harvesters to do their thing here.
Construction complete.
I'm not too sure why a carryall sometimes spawns and picks up your ride, even though it seems like it's perfectly capable of making it there themselves. But I'm not going to complain because that's going to speed up things. I forgot to get the outpost started. Alright, so now that we have the outpost, I can go back into the construction yard here and select the barracks. You might have also noticed that there was a spice silo there, but I don't think I'll ever use it because I go through spice too quickly. Things are starting to heat up here. Hopefully I get this barracks soon. Hopefully my concrete slab won't get destroyed here from friendly fire. Alright, finally I got my barracks started. I like to note here that not only the construction yard has a menu that you can open when you click upon it, but the other buildings as well also have menus you can open. It doesn't seem particularly useful for some of these buildings. Perhaps the stop button does something for these refineries, but I wouldn't know and I wouldn't care. But as you can see here, the barracks, however, does have something to select, which is our trooper. More units will appear later in the game, but that will be later. This early in the game, the population that the game gives you is really low, so I won't be able to do very much. I probably don't need to build this second barracks, in fact, but I'm bored. Now we're just kind of waiting things out.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Right now I feel like I have a pretty strong defensive line for what they are throwing at me.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting. Reporting. Reporting.
I'm fairly curious where they are, so I'm going to scout.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Kinda looks like they got some vehicles piled up down there. See what I mean? The population is really low, so the barracks won't even let me build another unit. This will change later in the game, however.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
They definitely have a lot more down there than I expected. That kind of weakened my defensive line, sending those troops down there. Not too sure if it's worth the time.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting. Reporting.
Well, I'm pretty close to getting enough credits here. Perhaps I should just send all of my troops down to the enemy base, see what kind of damage I can do.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir.
Oh, I wasn't quite fast enough. Or maybe I was too fast in getting credits. But that's okay. I'll certainly have a better battle next time, considering it won't be depending on how many credits I get.
Again, you have pleased me. You remind me of myself in my youth. You may indeed have true Harkonnen blood coursing through your veins.
Thank you for joining me, everyone. I will see you next time. Make sure to use the tools the YouTube gives you to let me know how I'm doing. See you later.